downhill. So he kissed a random girl in a nightclub. It went all over social media, and then continued to go on social media of photos of them kissing in their bed, like their marital bed. They're not married, but it's like their marital bed. And she stated that she like refuses to give him oral sex because she doesn't know where he's been
unless he's had a shower.
Which I think is so heartbreaking.
You can't even trust the person whose dick you want to touch. Like,
I can't imagine it. Like, I can't imagine, like, not trusting your partner that much.
Yeah.
That you don't want to, like, do things with them. Like, I can imagine that she's completely heartbroken. I can imagine that she's found it hard after to, like, build up her self-confidence. And the fact that he keeps on pushing for a threesome...
I was thinking, like, he is constantly pushing for a threesome. He's had one before, and he even said, like, it's a man's fantasy to be with two women. Or the other bloke said that.
Yeah.
It's a man's fantasy to be with two women, and he keeps on pushing it. So that means he wants to have sex with other people. So
yeah.
But if he was to bring another person in, another woman into...
an already broken relationship.
No, not even just that. Like, even in this dynamic that this couple have got... He's technically getting away with shagging someone else because she's giving it the okay. So what stops him from doing it behind her back?
Yeah, but, like, even when they were talking about the threesome in the VT, she said that she didn't actually really want to have it. She just kind of wanted to please him. And he had no idea.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. You can tell by the way he talks about it that, like, he's been pushing for it. He was pushing for it.
And she's just said yes.
And she just went along with it because she wants to make sure he's happy and not herself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they got to be in the situation they're in.
Yeah.
Like, it's heartbreaking.
Oh, I wrote down here, may have big dick, but he's got a small brain.
To be fair, we do get to see his penis on the show. Because, you know, when he gets up to clean his John, it is on the show.
It is.
I also found it really heartbreaking, like, that there's a moment the night after he bunned her off on the day, that she's just waiting for him to look at her.
Yeah.
Like, so he sat there on his phone texting or whatever.
He's avoiding.
He's just avoiding. And she sat there holding a cup of tea just staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying anything. And the sex therapist, whose name I've written down, Angela Matanda, said that it was completely heartbreaking watching her wait for him.
It was. Like, there is not a chance on this earth, if you're sat next to someone on the sofa and you're on your phone, you can't see them staring at you from your peripheral vision. Not even that. Like, you can feel a gaze on you. And especially if you know that you're in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
You know
he was
someone's
just
looking at
avoiding.
He was avoiding all form of conversation with her because he probably couldn't come up with a fucking good enough excuse.
Probably
Did we ever
not.
find out what his excuse actually was?
No.
He said, when he was laying down in bed when he got in, he said, I've had a long day. So he could have possibly been at work, but he runs a nightclub. But he comes in at 12.
Yeah, all of us have long days, but remember to text people we need to text.
Well, exactly.
Like, not a good enough excuse.
Absolutely not.
Like I've said, I've been in a relationship where someone has made me wait 8 hours for them, and I remember that being, like, the most, at the time, like, painful thing, feeling like I was just an option for this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that, like, I need to be the centre of your universe, but if you've said we're going to meet up at this time at this place, or I'm going to come over to yours at this time, and you're not there, and then you're still not there 8 hours later.
I'm not disposable. I am also a human being. I'm not disposable for your pleasure. You know, like, don't arrange something and not turn up and then not tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
I have my own thoughts and feelings. I'm sure that I could have something better to be doing other than waiting for you.
Well, like, it's as simple as this. Like, she's not a sex doll.
She's not.
She's a person. And it's like, if you really want someone who will just wait around for you, who will let you do whatever the hell you want to them, then buy a sex doll. Because that's kind of what the relationship is coming across like.
He's using her as an accessory.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It really looks... And so he got the question by the expert saying, do you want to be in a relationship? And he's hesitated and said yes. Which I don't know, the hesitation, and from his expression, he looked panicked.
Yeah. It was the comment, I didn't think you could run a nightclub and have a girlfriend, but I'm doing it. And it was like, yeah, but you're not having a girlfriend because you're not being a boyfriend to her. That's why you're on live TV letting people watch you shag. Because your relationship is in a dire need of needing to be fixed.
Also, like, if your relationship was going downhill...
Yeah.
Declining.
Could
you do this? Would you do this?
I reckon I could. Because I'm a quite open-minded person, love to talk about sex. That's why we're doing this podcast. Love to talk about sex and everything else. I think my partner, wonderful, wonderful man he is, I think he would definitely struggle, and he'd much rather us go to, like, couples therapy or counselling first.
Then do it on live TV.
Then do it on live TV.
In front of the nation.
In front of the nation. Because, like, they don't, like... Don't worry, it's not like Pornhub... like for free. It is under the covers. It's under the duvet, but like if you can see how shit your sex life is by looking over the cover, that's some bad sex.
Good rhythm though.
To be fair, bless his cottons, it's the only good thing about him so far. He does have great hair.
He does. Yeah,
he's attractive.
Yeah, he's not my type.
Nor mine. I mean the long hair.
Oh yeah, the long hair.
But that's a new thing I've developed.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I think, like... Well, do you reckon you could do it? Do you reckon if you were in a relationship... Context to this, Kira is single and I'm in a relationship, so it's like fun dynamics. Do you reckon you could do this?
No.
Why not?
Because, not for me... When things start to go wrong, sorry, I'm repositioning my legs again.
Bad hip brigade.
No, with me, it's like coming to terms with what's going wrong in the relationship. It takes a while for me to process, and I don't like anyone else knowing because I'd rather that be a problem between me and my significant other, and for us to sort out.
Yeah.
And I think the same as you. I'd rather go and see a specialist and talk about it that way than sit in a room full of strangers whilst they judge me.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it. Also, like, unless I'm making money, no one's seeing me having sex.
Only fans watch out. But, I think it's like, I can see why it's being done though, because I do, like, as I said in the intro to this podcast, over the last few months since I helped Kira with the project, we've become really good friends. And anytime I've kind of had a problem, considering you know my partner better than... Not better, well, longer than I have.
Yeah.
I do kind of come to you for advice. Mm-hmm. Especially even in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. So, like, I can see it being done with, like, close, intimate friends.
Yeah, like...
Not
strangers, though.
Not strangers, though, no. Because I think it'd be harder to hear criticism from strangers than it would your friends. Very
much so, but also the people who I would turn to the most, I know wouldn't bullshit me.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if I was to sit down and say, seriously, be brutally honest, don't sugarcoat it, what do you see is going wrong between mine and this person's relationship? And if they sat down and told me, no matter if I disagreed or agreed with it, it's a point to be thought on and improved. Not improve for that person, but think of it, if I agree with it, improve it myself. And if I don't agree with it, then just fucking ignore it. But, like...
I think my favourite comment on that whole thing was, there was another couple in the thing. The couple is Aaron and Libo. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Libo. Yeah, he just said Brian was a top lad.
That did make me chuckle.
That was a pretty good comment.
But I think it's the lads' code, isn't it? There is, no matter what age, there is a lad's code.
I did love that at the end of their... So once they've kind of watched one tape, they all go into a room, kind of have a wine and kind of discuss it between them, like girls go with the girls, boys go with the boys. And it did make me chuckle that Brian went up to Aaron and said something along the lines of, thank you for trying to save me. Because when they were talking about the dynamic threesome, he chipped in and was like, yeah, it's every guy's fantasy.
And then his miss turned around and went,
We spoke about it, but it wasn't going to happen. Like, it was just the immediate cut down.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Aaron, let's move on to our next couple.
Let's do it.
We just finished watching part 2 of sex tape with Aaron and Lebo, I think that's how you pronounce her name, summarise in one sentence what is wrong with their sex life.
No communication.
I would go with they aren't having sex.
That too.
That too. So, the cameras go in these couples' houses for 7 days, and they just record them. Every day, Aaron was trying to, like, seduce Lebo, but she just kept on rejecting him.
Yeah. She didn't even face him. And
yeah.
So he would go on her side of the bed and kiss her on the forehead and say, I love you. And she'd say, I love you too, but she'd be facing away when he got into his side of the bed. And almost every single night, that seemed to be her prominent position, is to face away.
Yeah.
Like, he would go up behind her and kiss her neck and say, I love you, or, like, almost, like, want a little bit of attention, or for her to turn around and kiss him back. And there was nothing.
No, not a single sniff of affection.
Nothing. Like, there was a little bit in the kitchen, when they were both in the kitchen.
Yeah, like, as a couple outside of the bedroom, they seemed really, compassionate, really caring.
Really affectionate towards each other.
They kind of seemed like the perfect couple until halfway through the VT, but we'll get into that more in a bit. But, like, it was nice watching them, because it was like, they really loved each other, and then it got to night time, and it was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do this. But considering the cameras was only in the house for, like, 1 week, obviously that's not a complete accurate representation of the couple. But you'd think, you know, you're being watched, you'd, like, perform.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah? You think?
Well, you'd think. Aaron is very, very affectionate to Lebo, which we've already, like, discussed. She's very cold and unaffectionate is the best way to put it. Like, their VT was a lot shorter than the first couple's because nothing happened. That's just kind of it. Like, there was just, like, a lot of cuddling, and, like, they broke the bed cuddling. Not even shagging. Cuddling.
Well, no, he was spooning her because she was facing away.
Yeah. That's true. But it was quite funny to, like, watch the bed break and then both be like, ah, and then Aaron get up, fix the bed, Lebo get up, fix the bed, and then him trying again, only to be rejected again. At the end of that section, he said one of my favourite lines in the show so far, which was, I wake up with the same rod I had the night before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He's not getting his kicks.
Massive case of blue balls.
You could see him when he stood up.
Mate.
He wasn't naked, but Jesus, you saw a lot.
Okay.
Maybe it's too much for her. So, my only red flag in that relationship, other than the lack of sex completely. Well, how would you deal with that if you were in a relationship?
Funny enough, I've actually been in something very similar.
Yeah.
No, my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but it was the other way around. I was Lebo in this situation because I wasn't very familiar with the thought of affection. Yeah,
but you guys, like, if you don't mind me exposing this, I'm going to edit it out.
Go ahead, yeah.
You guys didn't have sex at all during that duration of that
we did
relationship.
Yeah.
So that's a bit different because, like, they went from having sex 3 times a day.
Yeah, no, yeah.
3 times a day,
like,
to not at all.
I feel like she just kind of looks very insecure.
That was shown through the Snapchat fiasco.
Oh, massively. So like the thought of him possibly responding to another lass. So,
Aaron received a Snapchat invite. So, for everyone who doesn't know what Snapchat is, hopefully all of you know what Snapchat is essentially an app where you can, like, take a photo, send a text, send a video, that sort of thing, with someone. It's essentially just like another communications app. And some random lass added him on Snapchat, and she sent him a text telling her to fuck off because she noticed that Aaron was on his phone looking at this Snapchat and kind of replying. I'm in a relationship. If you didn't know, props to you. But if my partner was texting someone else, I wouldn't think anything of it.
I think,
Like,
she